Tide pools, also known as intertidal zones, these small pools of seawater are scattered along coasts throughout the globe. These mini biomes can support life that was left behind by the sea. Tide pools are rather common along rocky coasts because water tends to get trapped in the crevices in between the rocks. While slightly less common, you can still find a tide pool on a sandy beach, but it most likely won't have life in it. You can find a tide pool literally anywhere around the globe as long as it's along a coastline. Occasionally you might find a creature in it, and sometimes you won't find anything in it, as it kind of just depends on what the sea leaves behind. While being one of the smallest biomes of all time, they can still have a rather diverse life living in it. Unlike the tundra, which is pretty boring in my opinion, but it is not as diverse as the rainforest. Man, I wish I got the coral reef biome. A sandy beach's tide pools only go up to like a couple inches, unlike a rocky beaches, which can be a couple inches to a couple feet deep. That's why finding life on a rocky beach is much easier than a sandy beach. Some things you can find are small crustaceans, starfish, seaweed. Mussels are also fairly common. On occasion you might find a couple fish inside the tide pools, and if you're really lucky you might find a small octopus. And if you're super duper lucky you might find a giant Pacific red octopus, which has been known on occasions to be in tide pools. But then again, this is extremely rare because they don't really do that, so don't count on it if you're near a tide pool. Living in a tide pool is, as my friend Ethan likes to say, that's pretty risky, since the tide pool's biome is ever changing. Due to the tide pools being such a small ecosystem, any pollution or human interaction with one can be extremely devastating to the ecosystem. People often leave their trash in tide pools, which can be extremely harmful to the life living in them, as they might get stuck in it, and it can also trap things inside it, which can kill them or severely harm the creatures living in the tide pool. Not only is that extremely harmful, but people often trample over tide pools without even knowing it. I mean, they're so small that you just walk over them, walk in them if they're a couple inches. Some people mess with the water, which can hurt the plants, disrupt things around the biome, and it just disrupts the fragile ecosystem. If you're around tide pools, one thing you can do to help is just don't step in the tide pool and don't mess with it, as messing with it can be extremely dangerous for the things living in the small ecosystem due to its fragility. Another thing you can do is, if you see trash inside the tide pool, just take it out. It helps you clean the environment, and it keeps the tide pool safe from the animals getting trapped in that pollution. Tide pools might not be the most interesting biome, the biggest biome, or a biome that has many animals living in it, but the animals that do live in it love their biome. And a world without tide pools is sad because then you don't get the small snippets of ocean. So let's keep our tide pools clean and safe.